everybody, greetings. All right, I hope that you are going to see. I got a little trying a few. Okay, let's see what this says. I got a note there. Hey, everybody, hope all is doing an amazing on this Monday afternoon. I'm popping in here a little at an unusual time, but I hope that you can share this with your friends, share this out, or whatever you need to do to let more people know about what's going on here. So, my name is Sandy. I am your business strategist. Hey, Trey Jackson over here. Hey, Classell. Hey, everybody that's coming in over on all of these platforms as I can see everybody. Good afternoon for you. So I'm going to go ahead and get started before I go do my workout this evening. Yes, I got to stay fit, y'all. Yeah, our health is our wealth. So we got to stay healthy, guys. We got to get we got to get that blood circulating through our bones, through our body, through our veins. That's what we have to do in order to be able to keep that energy going because we have work to do. We have things to do. We got businesses to build. We got people to take care of in the future. We got a lot of things that's going on. Alrighty, now, today the topic is going to be, we're still on the grant process and today's topic is going to be the grant process approval. Now, there are some specific things that I definitely do want to go back over with you to talk about this grant funding, getting this money out here before this is new administration, the bills that has been passed. There's going to be some changes. So you may not have that funding for your business grants like you have before in the past. Okay. So that's what we're here to talk about. And I definitely want to do some double checking, some housekeeping here. Let's see, is my mic is on in this. Let's see here. Okay, yes. Everything is working here. So we are going to go ahead and begin the process and get started. If there are any questions, we will be answering them at the end of our conversation. So happy Monday to you. And I hope you had a great holiday weekend this past weekend. And I hope you were safe. And we're praying for those in Texas that are experiencing this definitely devastation, the loss of lives. We want to just say, have a moment of silence in our day-to-day activity, in our day-to-day, we're going to pray for those people. Okay. And so we are, all right, let's see. Consider change. This one, let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, I was reading something. Okay, I guess that it's not going to work. All right, now, good afternoon once again to you. So now we're going to talk about the grant processing and the approval because there are grants out there now and you need to be prepared for them because I don't want you to get out here and get discouraged because you didn't follow instructions on getting your grant prepared and you wasn't able to to make it happen. Maybe you weren't able to get approved because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Okay, we don't want that. All right, so now let's see. I encourage you to share this video if you don't mind. Share the video, please. Share the video. Thank you so much. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into the topic and talk about our grant proposal checklist. Basically, that's what we're going to talk about. And this is the process of approval. I know this may sound boring to you, but it really, really will benefit you. If you're somebody out here that want to start a business and you just say, man, I don't even have any money right now to even do the thing, but I really want to do it. Okay. So what I want you to do is, for those that can see my screen over here, I want you to be able to be a part of join our mentoring community, get and put your name and your email address here. For those that are on other platforms, please, you can go to the website and you will see the information there where it says be a part of the community and get daily information. I definitely know that it will benefit you in the long run. So here it is. That's where it will look like. If y'all can see it over here on this screen, that's where it will look. Okay, now in the foundation or in the basic foundation of a grant, what you will have to do is you're going to have to tell what your business is all about and what do you plan to sell and offer. This is going to be so important for you to get the what? Approval. All right. Everybody want to get approved. You say approval, approval, approval. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Thanks so much. And now, one of the other foundational things that you want to do is you're going to have to give an explanation of what you want to do in the future for your business. So you need to just plan out and let them know how, even if they're giving you the $20,000, $5,000 grant, whatever grant you decide. And oh, by the way, you can apply for multiple grants. And so basically all of them is going to, this portion here is going to really, really be the foundation of any grant that you apply for. So you're definitely going to have to give them this basic information. And then now it says list some clear and simple goals that you want to achieve with your business. You need to list, for instance, you're going to have to list some goals that what you want to do. What is this money going to help you do? That's basically what it's saying. So that will help you to set the foundation and to get the eyes to say, oh, okay, I need to pay attention to her. I need to pay attention to what's going on here. And so that is what you must do. That is what you're going to have. That's going to benefit you. Okay. It's definitely going to benefit you. And so now, okay, let's get back to that. All right, let me make sure that we still, oh no, here we go. Okay, now, okay, so now I am back to, yeah, the grant portion here. Okay, now that is just the basic of the foundation of your grant. So now the next thing is you need to give them a little bit more information about the business. This is going to help you get approved, people. The reason why we're having this conversation, because you're not getting the funding because maybe maybe you're not doing these things. And I want you to win out here. So I'm just giving you some nuggets here. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about today. And then also don't forget that if you want to be in an upcoming the upcoming grant course where we go over everything that I want to mention, most of the things that I'm going to talk about today, we're going to talk about them and some in a grant workshop. So if you are interested, make sure that you stay connected, get in the ecosystem and get on the list of when I get ready to drop the course. Okay. So now I do want you to know that the next thing is about, we want to stress and emphasize more about our business description, because if they're getting funding to a business, they need to know a little bit about what's going on with this business. They need to know not a little bit, they need to know a lot about your business. They need to know what makes it special, what make their money, that the funding would be for your business. How in the world would you be able to, what is it going to be, what's the value behind them giving you money, and then that you will be okay. Okay, so that's another thing that you definitely want to be clear on with them. The next thing is you want to give the information about your industry and your business and what is happening in it. What are you doing now? What are the previous things that you've done? And if it's new, you can kind of just say what you're going to do in the next 30 days or something. What are you going to do immediately? What are you going to do to get, what are you going to do to make a difference with the funding if they're going to give it to you? So that's another thing that you need to be very, very specific on. And this is all in the part of your business description. And the key here is, if someone is going to give you funding for your business, someone's going to give you a grant for your business, they want to know how will your business make money? How will you and then how will you set your prices? And that's something that you definitely need to be clear on. And that's going to be a part of your plan. So you see why I say you need a business plan. You're going to have a plan, because they are going to need this. This is how the approval process happens, people. You get approved by giving them the correct information and giving them the basic information that they need to know about your business, because they don't know what you plan to do. They're not in your head, and they're not in your, in your business or in your organization and in your thought pattern. So they don't know. You have to tell them, right? So tell them exactly what you are going to do. And I spoke the other day on one of the ways that you can get grant money. And then one of the ways and one of the things that is very important for you as you are writing a grant and getting a grant prepared and getting it together, one of the things that you must do is you must have a marketing app, a marketing analysis. Okay. And then also the three things that I want you to know, that I want you to keep in your mind about this portion is figure out what your customers, who your customers are and what they like. So that's very important too. So that way you can be very clear and concise when you are preparing yourself for this grant proposal. And that is needed. And so when you give out all of this information that is needed, you can't go wrong. You won't go wrong, because you will be giving them, they will see the broader picture of what you're doing, and and it might be the grant might be in your favor, but have everything, like I said, on the 3rd and 5th grade level, just have it so plain that they can't miss it, and it won't be complicated for them to understand what you have written or what you're saying to them. Okay. And then also make sure that you give some general information about the market that you're in and how it's growing and how it has grown and what it has grown within the last few years. All of that information is available to you. You don't have to search too hard for it. It's there for you. You just have to know where to go and get it. So just remember that we are having a grant class, and we are going to physically do some things in that grant class. So we're just not going to be out here playing, just talking about it. We're going to be working, doing some exercises. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. The gold. Okay. Yeah. And so anyway, yeah. So another thing is next thing we're going to do in this market analysis section here, everybody, are you ready for this? You're going to look at your competitors and explain and see how your business is going to be different from theirs. I mentioned this to you a while back. Thanks so much over here. Yeah, I've mentioned that to you a while back. You're going to look and see what's going on with your competitors, and then explain how your business is going to be different and better. Isn't that good? That is so good. Yes. So you are going to have to give them some information. And all of this is not, thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. And so thank you for adding to my wallet over here in Vigo. Thank you. And so all of this is not going to be hard for you to do, but it's going to be something that you're going to have to focus on, and you're going to have to get this together. But it's not hard now. It's not hard. Okay. It's not hard. It's not hard, especially when you're in the flow and you're focusing on your specific niche and the things that you're asking for its funding. Okay. So that is definitely going to help you. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for hearting it up over here. I see someone's hearting it up. Thank you. I need the hearts over here. Thank you over here in TikTok. Okay, now another part that is very important when you are writing for your grant proposal and you want to get that approval, one thing that you cannot leave out is your organizational management. That is, how in the world your business is going to be set up? How will it be ran? Who's going to be in charge of things, and how? Because this is, why this is so important, because this is what's going to help your business grow. This is going to help the growth of it. And they know that. The grantor know this. They be in business. They know what you need, when you need it, why you need it. Okay. So you want to be very clear and give them this in a clear fashion. And then also you're going to attach, if you have some qualifications of someone that may have to be certified. If you're asking for something that requires someone to be certified or something of that sort, you then need to attach the information if they require it. You need to make sure that is a requirement, and you're going to have to read and see what they want from you along with your business plan. So that is going to be a must too. Okay. All right. And then show who does what in your business. Like I said, just go ahead and give out who's doing, who's what position, who has what position, because 9 out of 10, everybody's going to have to play a part in it. And even if you're solo right now, you still need to put in there what you're doing, and then how are you going to have that growth, and then what you, if you need to hire someone, then you can ask for funding for that, and then what they're going to do and how they're going to be able to benefit, from being a part of your team. Okay. And that's going to be very important. Definitely going to be very, very important. And then make sure you have resumes of people to show their experiences, because that's going to be important as well. Okay. And now let's get down to the main nitty gritty to your products and your services. Your products and your services explain what you're selling and why people will like it. So you should already know how important it is for this particular product or service that you have and why people would need it. You would already need to know that information. Okay. All right. And then what makes you different from the average other person out here in, in the business world. So that is another one that you want to make sure of too. And then you need to describe how your practice is going to reflect the attention of your particular buyers. And then how will you structure your pricing? So you need to have that down too as well. And then also, if you don't know that, then that's a part of our course in preparing for your grant, because we all need to set our prices and we need to know how to set them correctly, not just looking at what somebody else is charging and setting your prices according to what they're pricing their products and services. No, it doesn't work that way. And if you want to stay in business, you don't do it that way. And you know why you don't do it that way? It's simply because if you do it that way, then you might just price yourself out of business, or you might just undercut yourself out of business, because your overhead and your break-even analysis is going to be totally different from someone else, because you can't price your product like these big stores, these big corporations, because they have many ways of getting, they have many ways of pricing and profiting from their business. So you have to do it a different way. Okay. They had to do that once too when they were starting out. So it's not just that, it's not just for you, the small business. Everybody had to do it. Everybody in business had to start at this level. Okay. Marketing and sales. So you need to explain how you would tell people about the businesses. What's your marketing budget going to be? And that's when you have to sit down and you have to come up with your marketing campaign and have that as a part. And this is how you will be able to give a description of how you're going to spend this grant money, how you're going to spend this funding. And that is the way, that's another way. Okay. And then how will you sell them? Will you sell them online? Will you sell them at a brick and mortar? You need to explain that. You need to be very specific. And that's definitely a part of your final phase of your marketing campaign. And then also this, what other kind of incentives do you have? Explain that. What kind of promotions, or how are you going to keep the customers that you already have? Explain that, because you don't want to just make one sale and then everybody out the door, and then you be like, oh my goodness, oh, I just made that one sale. You want to learn and know how to get and keep repeat customers from coming to your business. Okay, that is another important thing you need to do. Okay, and now operational planning. Your operational planning is how exactly you're going to be running this business from day to day, and how you're going to be able to make an impact. And where your business, whether it's going to be brick and mortar, whether you're going to be online, where in the world are you going to be, and how are you going to be able to, continue. And that's when you need to know how much your overhead, the things that are going to cost you, the cost of goods. You're going to have to determine your basic monthly cost before you make any profit. And that's how you're going to come up with your break-even analysis too. That's all a part of that too as well. And so once you do all of that, you will have that, laid out. Yeah. Okay. And so also the next thing is you need to list any tools or equipment that you're going to need for your business, additional things. And that will really help you too, because they pretty much know certain things that's needed for the business. And they know once you buy these correct tools and you have the things that you need for to operate your business, you will be just that much more, it'll be just that much more beneficial for you growing your business. And then also, um, how, if you need materials for, if you're selling things, how will you, what's the avenue of you working with vendors and all of that kind of thing. That is so important too. So you need to make sure that you are on top of that. Okay. And then also giving them the information, this is all in your business plan now, giving them the information about your financial planning, talk about the cost, give them the cost exactly of what, so the grantor would know that exactly what it's going to cost for this particular money, for this particular business to grow, and the money that you're asking for, and how you're going to be spending that money. Okay. Yeah. And then also share your plans of how you're going to be making money and when you think your business can start making a profit, so that way, the sooner you let them know about that, the favorable things will look for you. Okay. And then also let them know about let them know about how much money that you want to spend. And then, like I said earlier, how you're going to use it, what you're going to use it on, and how you're going to be, how frugal you're going to be with the money too as well. And if you are, this is outside of grants though, but if you're doing some things else, if you're doing some kind of private, working on private funding, well, no, that's not even in this conversation. So we ain't gonna worry about that. And then make sure that you have all of them, you include information about, I said resumes earlier, and the people that are working with you in this business or will work with you in the business. And you can always give a job description of what you think that they will, consist of, what you think they will look like. Okay. And then make sure that you have any copies of information, any important papers that's going to be needed. And then also make sure that you have a thorough, comprehensive written out plan. And hey, you're off to the races. This is it. This is what you need in order to be able to get that approval for that grant process. And you will have to make sure that you give them this information outside of what they require separately, because sometimes certain grants requires a little bit more of some things. But I see a few grants here on let me see, some grants that I see deadlines for and stuff. So let me just see here. Do I see any specific ones that I want to show you? Let's see. Okay, let me see what this is a grant. There's a grant here. There's a grant from, okay, let me see here. Let me see, can I create, I'm gonna say I'm gonna create an account. Okay, let's see. Because I see a grant here that I think we maybe can pull some information from it and see what they're asking for, and then we can get you ready. All right. This is not going to take me too long here. I can put the link out once we're done with this video. I'll put the link out. Okay. We'll do that. All right. So I'll do that, but I'm gonna look inside of here and see I just found a grant that I want to just kind of give y'all a little exercise about. How about that? Yeah, while we on here live, and for those that's listening to the replay, you guys can see what's up. Okay, let's see here. Let me do this over because I didn't put in here's the passwords. Don't match. I'm setting up this account for this one here because this is one I just discovered. And if I'm not a part of the process. This one here still, maybe I keep hitting the wrong key. Hold on, yeah. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I hit the wrong key. Let's see. Okay, it says I have successfully completed an application. I mean, not an application, my login for the application. I'm going to share the link with you guys later on this. And so if any of you on these other platforms, you can go to my website and see what I am. Okay, it says go back to the login. After this, I'm getting ready to go and work out. See if I enter the wrong password. I just set this password up now. Come on. All it. Child, I just set this thing up. Say I do. Okay, let me put my email address in because I'm gonna have to reset it again. Look like. Okay. Now let me go to my email. I just set it up, so maybe it didn't go through like it should have. What I'm doing is working on getting inside of this grant so I can give y'all some info on it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Did I? All right. Let's see. Let me see one more time. It don't want me to share this information with y'all. So what's going on? All right, let me go to this. Okay, there it is now. I need to, like I said, it took a minute. Okay, we're gonna use this as a temporary password. It's giving me one to use temporarily, and all right, let me put that temp in, and then we'll go from there and see what's in the. What in the world? Let me see. Good grief. Well, it didn't have to set up the password because it sent me the password. Yeah. All right, let me try this again. I'm trying to log back in, log in really, so where I can sign in. But for some reason, it's not. I know I put in this email. This is the email address that I use. Okay. Now it's getting. Y'all, this is weird. Because I'm trying to get back into this application so I can kind of give y'all some info of what is really going on with it. Okay, that's the goal here, but don't seem like I'm able to accomplish this goal. If not, then I just have to set up a new one all over again because I keep putting in the temporary passcode that they said. because I'm trying to change it because I'm not able to get inside. So give me a few minutes so that can populate so I can change the password. And then I can tell you exactly how to apply for this. I think this is a $20,000 grant. Yeah, $20,000. 20,000. All right, this is a $20,000 grant from PayPal. Yeah, PayPal. Let me see. Okay. They close on the 15th of August, so let me see. And then I'm going to give you the who qualifies. And that's another thing that's very important to know, that who's qualified to receive. Oh, I'm sorry. You will each win 25,000, not 20. You will have 25,000 and a free masterclass training with their marketing and social teams. And so they're going to train you for the success if you get approved for this grant. And it's going to be up to 15 finalists who will be selected on September the 22nd. So we're going to try to get in here and see what is all of this about. What are the requirements to get this funding from this particular opportunity. Now let me see if I can. Okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try it one more time. They want me to use another one. If this one don't work, then I need to try something different. Okay, I'm going back in here and doing this for you, because I will not be defeated. Okay, let me just set up another one because it's still not letting me. I'm gonna see. Maybe I might have entered it wrong. I might have entered the wrong email. I bet I did. I bet you're right. I probably entered a wrong email. That's probably what I did, but we'll see. We shall see. We're gonna start over. First, you don't succeed. Guess what you do? Dust yourself off and try again. It's already in use. Please, okay, it's already in use. Well, it's not in use because we can't get in here. And that is. Let me try this one more time, and we're gonna do. They must be having technical issues because I've done everything. I don't know what this is. They probably having technical issues, but we'll try to work on. I'll see what I can do on my end. We'll try to work on this another day. Let's see here. No, it's not working for me. We'll try to go into it. I'll see what I can fix it, and then I'll try to look into it and tell you guys tomorrow of what's inside of that and how you can qualify for that particular grant. And because I got some other grant research to do for some other people that okay. So yeah, so I'll do that. I'll work on that. But what I'm going to do right now is I gave you some information, and so what I do right now is I'm just going to we'll convene. I just go, I was going to just give you some extra tips on some things. So anyway, I couldn't get into it, and so I'll try it later to try it tomorrow. So I'm getting ready to go do my workout right now. Okay, all right, guys. Thanks so much for for being here. And for those that are listening at the replay, I appreciate you being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. And just to remember that that with your grant approval process, you can receive grants. And then now, like I said, the new administration is changing a lot of things. So it's best now that if you are interested in getting a grant for your business, it's best to start now. It's best to continue out here now. All right. And yes, I need to take that call. That's a business call I need to take. All right. Y'all have a beautiful evening and talk to you tomorrow. Blessings.